guys, this is the bunny Valkyrie. So our topic for today is so let's just jump right into it. So why do you actually not need art school? Well, quite frankly, art school, well, any school as someone who's coming from dentistry, actually what you get out of it really depends on two things: your effort and studying the material. But the thing is with studying any degree, you must be able to put in a good amount of effort into what you're doing so that you actually absorb what you're trying to study. And it's effort, there's drive into motivation, ambition, into getting what you want, into getting, for example, if it's something in the medical field or something law, you want to finish that degree because you actually need it. You don't want someone who doesn't have a degree to operate on you. You don't want that. You really don't want that. But when it comes to stuff like art, you don't need a degree. Because the thing is, when it comes to stuff like art, it really depends on the person's skill and their knowledge about it. What they can express in their own words. Not just something that's copy pasted from the internet or ChatGPT. Those answers, you won't exactly be very relied on if the person if the person you are is someone who just copy pastes stuff on the internet. That's unreliable. So you need to be able to explain yourself in your own words to a point that you actually sound like you know what you're talking about. So that's one thing. Another thing is your skill. You really need to be able to provide what you set your expectation to be. Examples, someone who makes very detailed painterly art, that's already their standard. You made that standard. You must be able to meet that standard. But if you're someone who's very soft, very pencil-y, light pencils, watercolor, pastel, that's your standard. So you have to meet that standard to be able to grow your audience, grow your brand. I don't like saying stuff like that because it sounds very detached from yourself when art is really an expression of yourself, you know what I mean? So really, just a really big thing about art is that you are still yourself at the end of the day. If you when you make art, you should be able to express yourself through it to a point that it's satisfactory. Because a lot of us, maybe not most people, but I'm included in this, I can't do something if I don't feel satisfied by it. And then I can't do that. I can't do more of it if it doesn't satisfy me at the end of the day when it's done. I won't be able to function by putting myself through it, just chugging through it, if I don't feel satisfied. And for me, I'm a very hardworking person to the point of it's really debilitating. Don't follow what I do, because what I did before was I studied dentistry and I have blood phobia. So during my surgery cases, I was a complete wreck. To the point that I got hypertensive, which means having high blood pressure. And I am like, what? I first got emergency hypertensive at the age of 22. That was like 2020. So that was 4 years ago. I was hypertensive at the age of 22 because a hard worker who is not satisfied but keeps chugging through it will not survive. I personally am one of them. So don't do that. I was one of them. I have a tendency to go back to like things that are self-harm, but people don't consider them self-harm because it's not cutting yourself. But I do things like not eating. I do things like not taking breaks, not giving myself time to rest properly, not allowing myself to feel happy. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just don't do that, you know? So, like, with art, if it's something that satisfies you, you prioritize on growing. That's probably better than what most people do. Because what people do nowadays, more common than not, people just post for views, for likes, but does that really satisfy them? It's just like following trends, but does that satisfy them at the end of the day? Would they look back at it and be like proud of what they've done? But yeah, just like following trends that are just meaningless in the long run, especially if it's fandoms you don't like, you don't vibe with in the first place, or you don't even understand, but you make art about it just because it gets likes. But what if it doesn't get likes? Who loves your art at the end of the day? Not you, because you don't know what the crap you're drawing, and you don't, there's no soul. Your soul is not there. So if there's no likes to it, who likes the art? No one, not even you. So like, you know what I mean? So when you make something, at least do it because you know that you will be happy by the end of the piece. Like, it's worth doing. Anything that gives you happiness or satisfaction is worth doing. It's really worth doing. Be it as easy as it could be, or as hard as it could be, but at the end of the day, if you're satisfied and if you're happy, all the more too, it's best. It's really the best you could do. Especially if it's something you're proud of doing at the end of the day. You won. I'm not gonna lie, you won. So why don't you need art school? If you have ambition and prioritizing on growing yourself as a person and yourself as your skills, you're gonna go so far. Especially if you just your skill, your ambition, chase down that dream that you always wanted to do. Like for me, it was like when I was younger, I wanted to make like stories to touch people, be it in any art form. I find after like years and like working on things, I find that if it's on any art form, it doesn't have to be comics. Any art form will do, as long as it's stories that touch people, that move people. That's for me. And that's where I'm going to. And honestly, I've never been closer now than I ever was before, because before I was just like stuck in dentistry, like dreading each day, hoping that I'd like disappear. What art school is what art school is for is actually for me, because I actually have a good enough skill level. My art school is for connections. For connections. That's about it. Like for connections for a job. But if it's not, but if it's a job that I don't need to be employed at, you know, it's just something a buffer for me then. I just want to grow my online presence before I like, I don't know if I'll actually get a job by a company or something. I mean, good, but I don't know. There's so many possibilities right now, and I think if you know what you're doing, and if you're getting close to what you want to do, by each day you're getting closer and closer to what you want to do, to who you want to become, you won. You're winning. So, you know? So you don't need art school if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing as a complete beginner, okay, fine. Go to art school. But if you know what you're doing, you know how to research, because research is a big thing. You learn so much with like self-research. Especially when it's topics that are very like niche. You'll get so far. Like, honestly, motivation and like the curiosity, you'll research it to death. That's me. That's what I'm one of them. So like I'll research this shit to shit, you know? So yeah. You don't need art school. You just need ambition and just a drive and just knowing what to do. Just like putting the steps and making those steps. You'll get so far. You'll get so far, dear. You'll get so far. So that's about it. I think that's a really long ass talk. So thank you for watching, and I hope you're happy wherever you are. So you can always like message me. I'm planning to make a Discord. I'm planning to make a good Discord so that we'll just like mingle and like make friends, you know? That'd be fun. Okay, that's it. Sorry for the long blah 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 babble, for the long ass mumbling. But I hope this is helpful for you. Have a good day out there. Enjoy your day. Okay, bye bye. Stay safe. Love you. Bye bye.